All right, how is that? Better, perfect, better. Okay. How about if we leave it at this right here? Okay. Okay, guys, we're gonna have to have a sometime I'll come in on a test stream and try to get that good now. Okay. Sometime I'll get a I'll just do a test stream and we will try to perfect it, okay? Because yeah, I don't know how to run the thing. Okay. Um I should have just gotten, you know what I should have done? I still could. I should have just got a headset, right? I'm trying to get an external speaker for this phone because I don't think it's doing very well. So anyway, that oh, okay, perfect. Okay. Now that we've settled that, let's see, 8 minutes. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm gonna go back up to the top and say hello to everybody. I missed you guys. I have been it's been really hot here. So I've been trying to work outside a little bit, but also I've had a project going on in my house. So I have I've been working, trying to finish up a project, and then today we had all the smoke from the Canadian fires. The wildfires up in Canada is smoking us out. Even my dogs don't even want to go outside. Now the air quality is even worse. It's like almost at 500. That's the furthest it goes. It doesn't get any worse than that. So anyway, the smoke is getting worse and worse. And this is the time of night that I usually open up my windows and get some cool air in here. But I think we're going to get choked out. So anyway, I did open the windows. Want to get some fresh air. So anyway, good evening to Say It Out Loud. Welcome, party people. Miss January, good to see you too. Let's see, Miss January. Say It Out Loud. Florida Life in the Sun. Good to see you tonight. Welcome. Let's see here. Second. 1 second. Let's see. Tina. Good to see Tina tonight. And let's see. 1 second. All right. And let's see. Florida, Tina. Let me get down here. The kittens are playing in a Walmart box. A little Walmart box. They're having a blast, but they're kind of loud. Anyway, so if they get too crazy, I'll take their toy away. But they're having a blast. They like those empty boxes. Let's see, Miss January. Betty, good to see Betty tonight. Welcome. Kathleen, good to see Kathleen. Welcome. Tina, Miss January. Kathleen. Florida Life in the Sun. Betty. Kathy. Let's see. Yeah, happy hump day. Remember that commercial with the camel? I think he was walking through a store or something. Hump day. Betty, Kathy, Miss January, Not My Monkeys. Good to see you tonight. Welcome. Tina, Alicia, Grace, always in style. Salutations to you too, Miss January. Justin Morris, good to see you tonight. Justin, I hope you're feeling better after your surgery. I hope you're on the mend and you are feeling much better. I wish that you will heal quickly. Good to see you tonight, Justin. And Susan says so much. Good evening to you too. Mary, I think I said hi to Mary, but I just want to make sure. Good to see Mary. Florida Life in the Sun. Tina, Not My Monkeys. Miss January, Susan says so much. Tina, let's see here. Miss January, Life in the Sun. Say it out loud. Yeah, I did. I was in a cup. Actually, I fell into a large cup. Paul Bunyan, you know, we have Paul Bunyan here. Paul Bunyan is in Brainerd. And sometimes I fall in his cup. I keep doing it. Alicia, good to see Alicia. Kathy, let's see, Florida Life in the Sun, Miss January. Yes, I actually, yeah, I wouldn't mind a Burger King right now. Getting kind of hungry. But I've been eating cucumbers out of my garden already. Man, they're already big. I've had so many cucumbers already in the last couple days. Cucumbers and vinegar with the dill and the sugar and the celery seed. Oh my gosh, that's all good. Anyway, good to see everybody tonight. Yes, I'm just like the baby. What was her name? Baby Jessica, who fell in a well. That baby Jessica now is, I think, in her 40s, and I think she just got a DWI. She got arrested for something. I can't remember. Baby Jessica, the one that fell in the well. She's all grown up now. Got herself a little bit of a pickle. It's not a well this time. And by the way, how does a baby fall down a well? I mean, goodness. I put a board over the top of it or something. Throw a tire on it. Yeah. So did I say hi to everybody? I hope so. No, yeah, so I was in the well. Catwoman, good to see you tonight. Who am I missing? Cherry, good to see you tonight. I'm gonna have to do like a test stream. Maybe I'll do it in the middle of the night when nobody's awake, and do a test stream. It'll just be test, and then so if you see a stream where it says test, it's nothing. It's just me trying to figure out this microphone. I have a really nice boom microphone, but it goes to a laptop, not my phone. Anyway, so yeah, I hope Justin's feeling well and recovering from his surgery. Let's see, Tina. Did I say hi to Tina? Good to see you tonight, Tina. 102 in California. Wow, we're not far behind you, Kathy. We are in the 90s. Yeah, we're in the 90s here. We were supposed to be 103, but now they've lowered that down to 98 or something like that. We got about 5 more days of hot weather and then it'll be cool again. And now it's filled with smoke, so I can't even. I've been waiting till like when the sun goes down to work outside, and can't even do that now. I was outside and I had a really sore throat from the smoke. It says you're not supposed to go outside. What do they know, right? I'll do what I want. Best has been okay. I don't know if I missed anybody. So yeah, we'll just go over a few things here. Let's say Italian girl, Betty, Italian girl. Let's see. Hold on a second. Skeptical. Oh, we just saw skeptical. Second. It's good to be skeptical. Be skeptical about everything. Let's see. Oh, well, thank you, Susan. Thank you, Susan. Bought 5 Curious Soul memberships. Thank you very much, Susan says so. Susan says so much. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That's very kind of you. Does it say that where they went? Hold on a second. I should have my other chat on here. I should probably pull up my. Hold on a second. Plug this in before I forget. Yes, and the microphone goes in the same spot as my plug-in, so I don't know how that's going to work. Yes, congratulations, John. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, I see Betty. Betty, thank you. Betty got one. Oh, thank you so much. That was really nice of you. Well, hey. Back again. Network bounds. Okay. Yes, that was very kind of Susan. Much appreciated. Very nice for these for 5 people to get memberships. We had a few fires around here. We have a drought. All the farmer crops are dried. Oh no! For the ones that can't water, that's terrible. That's terrible. Good to see you tonight, Nan. Yeah, that's terrible. Yeah, it's kind of been a drought here too, and I just noticed some of my new grass that I just grew was dying. So yeah, it goes quick. If you don't water. You love tomato sandwiches? I like BLTs, but yeah, some people like just eating the tomato with salt. My family members do that. I didn't, but anyway, we'll stay safe then. Very nice, Susan. Yes, right up. Yep. Well, I hope they have some way to water their crops. That's a disaster because now they're done till next year. You know what I mean? I've kind of got a little taste of it when my raspberries got wiped out by those beetles. I thought, wow, what if that was all my crops and I was counting on it to live on? You know what I mean? Can you imagine losing everything? My husband and I have a garden, but the rabbits, crows, birds, turkey, deer eat more than yeah. I learned you gotta fence it in with the 6-foot fence, and then some of the berries and stuff you can throw the net over. There's nets so the birds don't get them. But yeah, it's you got to play defense with them animals because they will. The deer will come up and strip everything if I didn't have the fence up. I have it penned in. Everybody up here has their gardens fenced in. You know what I mean? Me too. Good thing I can't give tomatoes away fast up. Yeah, yours are ripe already. I haven't gotten a ripe one yet. They're getting big though. Nice not buying cucumbers and lettuce and tomatoes right now. Susan, how are you doing? I don't think we asked that. Yes, how is Susan doing tonight? Rabbits ate your squash? Yeah. I had so much squash and I don't even eat squash. Well, thank you. Say it out loud. Say it out loud. Say it out loud. Got 1 month. Member for 1 month. Let me try to get a better way to read this here. A little easier on my phone because it's let's see. You don't like tomatoes? Yeah. Yeah. I saw somebody grow a tomato plant from their tomatoes off of a Burger King Whopper. And it worked. It was a tomato plant. Yeah, I feel bad for the farmer. Yeah, I do too. Especially if that's especially if that's what they're trying to live off of. Salt, pepper, mayo. Yes, Catwoman, Susan is very generous to do that. Any beetles yet? They aren't as bad this year as in the past year. No, I haven't seen any. My raspberries are starting to get, well, they're ready. Some are ready to get picked, but it's been way too hot out there. And I was going to go tonight, and the smoke is really, really bad. So I'm hoping they'll hang in there a couple more days till I get out there. If they get too ripe, they just drop on the ground. Kind of like the sport challenge. Well, thank you, Susan. Sarah, too, 1 month. Yes, Sarah. Really, Sarah? I just missed that comment. Hold on a second. Yeah, so so remember the other day, we're looking at Brian Cody's comment about the Whittakers wanting to make money, opportunities or whatever. That wasn't his post. It was this other guy's post. And I can't remember his name, but it was on Facebook. And And the guy, I guess, is Betty's nephew. And I'm not sure why the guy says, everybody's saying that this guy is saying that Betty is his aunt, which would mean, since Betty was never married, that would mean it'd be on that side of the family. And it would mean that Larry is the uncle, and Ray is his uncle in Lorraine, but he says he's Betty's nephew. And he's the one that put that out there. And it was just Brian's reply that we saw. So anyway, I'm sure you guys would recognize him. I can't remember what his name was. But he was the one that was saying, and supposedly it's Betty's nephew or something. Anyway. So I want to clear up that. That wasn't even Brian's post. It was the other dude. Can't remember what his name is. Well, thank you. Thank you, Kathy. Yeah, the garden's going great. It's got a little drought now, though. I got to keep running the hose and watering it. But yeah, it's good. I'm already eating out of it, so that's good. Have wild leeks or scallions growing. You have wild leeks growing in my yard. I can smell them. Oh, when you mow them, yeah. Yeah, you can cut them up. You can dehydrate them or whatever. Freeze them. A massive grasshopper in your room the other day. You weren't happy? Yeah. I stepped today in the grass and one went flying. It looked like a moth for a minute. It was flying pretty good, and then it just went back to a grasshopper. It's like a transformer insect. Went from grasshopper to moth for about a second, back to grasshopper. Best part of summer is all the fresh veggies and fruit. I agree. I got a lot of cherries I got to pick. And this time I have a cherry pitter. So I just put the cherry in the thing, and then you squeeze the handle and it pops the pit out of it. Because those cherries have pits. And last time I I spent like 8 hours trying to cut the pit out of those. And my fingers were shriveled up. I thought there's got to be a better way. And yeah, there's a cherry pitter that I bought. Excuse me. I don't know if I should have opened that window. The air is nice and cool, but it's kind of smoky. All right, good night. Good night, Nan. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in tonight. Same guy posting pictures. Yes. Okay. And then I've seen some kind of little bit of backlash. People saying, well, I didn't know they were in custody and stuff. But yeah, it is. You're right, Susan. It's the same guy that is posting. He's running with those 3 Whittaker pictures, and he claims he's part of the family. I don't know if he is or not. I don't know. Your sister has chickens. I bought several dozen fresh eggs. Oh, you brought them back to your neighbors? Nice. So I guess the eggs, when you buy them in a store, they're already like several weeks old. I don't know how old, but they're kind of old when you buy them in the store. Nothing better than fresh eggs. Is it Joshua Tomlinson? Here, I can look. It might be. Hold on a second. Let me look. Yeah, I think his name was Joshua. Yeah. Hold on, let me just look, okay? Oh, I gotta show you this first though. Hold on a second. Hold on, I gotta show you guys. Crap. I gotta show you guys something first. Look at this. Now, I've heard about this, but I just ran into it. Hold on a second. Oh, hold on a second. Okay. All right. There. This is the official Whittaker page. I'm sorry. So this is, what is that? Why is it on there? Oh. There you go. Look at this. This is, somebody told me about this like a month or two ago, and I kind of forgot about it. So if you go on Facebook and you type in Whittaker family, this shows up. Now this is the site that Dwayne made. This picture here, official. It's 22,000 followers. I don't remember how many followers, but look, somebody told me this. This is the official page of the Whittaker family from West Virginia. Digital creator, and now this is out of Manhattan, New York, United States, New York. Look at this. Who is running this page? Who is running this page? And look at this. Ray that needs a haircut. But only if he wants one, right? Yeah, so look at, we want July 11th. 20, what's the date today? Hey, when was the 11th? All right, this was Saturday. Today's Wednesday. This was just 4 days ago. 4 days ago, this was posted at 5:25 p.m. So somebody's posting on here. Hold on a second. Who owns this? Somebody in Manhattan, New York, huh? Interesting. July 9th. There's Betty. And this is, I thought this was off of Patrick's Facebook, was it not? You like some, yeah, this is Patrick's. Loretta. Huh. Oh, wait a minute. June 2nd. Okay, yeah, these are Timmy Sheet. I sheet. Huh. He sheet and he knows he did. Timmy was ready to go May 31st. Is this year? Yeah, 2026. Oh, they've been posting for a while. Huh. Interesting. Wow, this is weird. Look at this. Look at the hashtags. Soft white underbelly. Hashtag. Hold on a second. I'm gonna look underneath here. Dang it, Bill. Right here. Oh, where's the hashtag? Here. Here's hashtags. Soft white underbelly. Documentary. Human condition. Real stories. Addiction awareness. Mental health matters. Empathy in action. This has got Eric written all over it. These are his. Look, this is when he went to Cracker Barrel or whatever. Then when more people bought his meal. Remember, somebody bought his meal, and somebody else went to pay for it, and they said somebody already bought it, so they ended up with a gift card. Well, guess who probably got that gift card for Cracker Barrel? Anyway, so yeah, what's up with that? Somebody said, here, can we see when it was made? Hold on a second. Let me see. Was this created right after December? Hold on a second. Let me see. How do you know when it was created? About? Here, I bet it's about. A boot? I bet it's a boot. Contact and basic information. Huh. Manhattan, New York. Congratulations. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh. Now, who else has access to this Whittaker page? You know what I'm saying? What the heck's going on? You know? Yeah, these are all that. I mean, who else is licensed to use this material? You know what I mean? And did Whittaker's page have 22,000? Is that what he had? Can't remember. Anyway, so that's weird. I totally forgot the guy I was looking for. What's his name? Jason? Justin? All right. So, yeah. Joshua Tomlinson. Thank you. Let me just look it up on my phone. 1 second. Joshua Tomlinson. I got a little distracted there. All right. Joshua Tomlinson. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Here it is. All right. Yeah. All right. I don't know. 4 days ago. I don't know, when was it?
Yeah, Uncle Ray's definitely the goat, man. My boy Ray, he's the goat. Yeah, Uncle Ray's definitely the goat, man.
Calling him Uncle Ray. Hold on a second. Oh my gosh, I'm getting choked out from the smoke. Sorry, guys. Way too much. Terrible. All right. Getting choked out. No wonder the dogs are looking at me weird. All right, hold on. I'm going to pull it up on the screen so you guys can see it. Yeah, this is a 2-minute video. And he just called him his Uncle Ray. So yeah, this is a nephew, you guys. Now it's weird because on that Whittaker family tree, I don't know why he would. Why wouldn't he be on there? Is the Tomlinson? You know? I wonder whose kid he is. Hold on a second. Here we are. All right, check it out. There we go. Oh, let me shut this light off. All right, see it better. Whittaker update, July 12th. It was just a couple days ago, 6:12 p.m. Josh, he's in Odd, West Virginia. This is a relative of. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I gotta mute. All right. All right. A second. Oh wait, I gotta unmute him up here or something. Oh, what do you? Oh, thank you guys. All right, why is this on me?
Ray.
Oh, okay.
He does look like he's gained some weight. He's looking happy, man.
All right. Is this the one where he? Oh, a second. I don't even want to show the pictures, but let's see. Maybe I will just mute this for a second. All right. Yeah, so this is his Uncle Ray. Now I'm going to get to the part. I don't think this is the one where he's telling about the Larry and Betty wanting to make money, is it? We're all took by the state. Tooken. He is funny. Okay. All right. All right. Well, we'll just listen to the first part till he starts bringing up these pictures.
Where's my boy Ray? He's the GOAT. Yeah, Uncle Ray's definitely the GOAT, man. You know the situation with the family. Back when everything happened with Patrick and Eric, the three,
Is the sound okay? Is the sound okay? I'm getting the chat here. Because I don't have
the situation with the family.
all right. Comments. All right. Hold on, you guys. I'm gonna check with the sound before I start because no use in doing this if you can't hear. All right, 1 second. I have Brian on the phone with Amy saying something very similar about them wanting to make money. Brian on the phone with Amy? Who is Amy? That guy also got the Nancy Guthrie case. Turn him up? Okay. It's okay. All right. I think if it gets too loud, that's when we get the vibrating or something, reverberation or whatever. All right. And you can also maybe see the closed caption there. All right. So, yeah, this is a Whittaker relative, Joshua Tomlinson. He says he's a relative. All right.
Where's my boy Ray? He's the GOAT. Yeah, Uncle Ray's definitely the GOAT, man. You know the situation with the family. Back when everything happened with Patrick and Eric, the three of them, Timmy, Lorraine, and Ray were all took by the state. Taken by the state. And yeah, so there has been some recent pictures that have surfaced that show Ray. It looks like he's gained a little bit of weight. I will show this picture right here. So yeah, as you can see, this is a newer picture of Ray. He does look like he's gained some weight. He's looking happy, man. So you know,
yeah. Well, you know, Ray always has a smile on his face. It doesn't mean that they're happy living there. Like I said, I'll keep going with the sound. I just want to show their pictures. All right, Tie Dye Gammy, thanks for coming in. 5 a.m. is very early. No, he doesn't look like a Whittaker, does he? Does he look like a Whittaker? I don't think so. You see it? Well, and you know where you might have seen him? Remember that video where Timmy was in the supermarket and he was with like a caseworker and he was pushing his own grocery cart, and then there was another lady next to him, like pushing her own grocery cart. And people wondered if that was a current picture, which it was. It was a current picture. And then he also, I think, had one where it was kind of a fake one where the grocery cart turned into like a dirt bike, and Timmy was riding all over the store on a dirt bike. That was like an AI. There was a few AI videos out there. Did you guys ever see the AI video where BJ and Larry are sitting on the steps, and they took the footage from Soft White Underbelly when they were getting busted out about the money? And in the AI version, all of a sudden BJ gets up and like tackles her dad, Larry. Did I say Ray? Anyway, her and Larry were sitting next to each other, basically getting confronted by Mark. But in the AI version, all of a sudden BJ stands up and just like tackles her dad, Larry, and starts punching him. That was the AI one too. You thought it was real? The motorcycle one? You thought the one where she was punching her dad? Yeah, it did look real, didn't it? That AI is scary, man. It'll make you look like you're doing something you're not even doing. Well, what the hell? You could get framed for a crime doing that. Yeah, it did. Yeah, it was. I don't know. So anyway, we'll listen. If this sound is good, I'll keep listening to this. Joshua Tomlinson, who is a Whittaker relative. Betty is his aunt, and Ray and Larry is his uncles, I guess.
Hoping his knees feeling better for sure, and he's getting the medical attention that he needs. There have also been some pictures that have surfaced of Timmy and Lorraine. They look like they're doing a lot better, also medically.
Medically? Now, okay, I got a question. Besides the new clothes, how are they looking different? Huh? If you put their old clothes back on, they wouldn't look any different, okay? It's the new clothes that makes them look different. Doesn't mean they're happy. Doesn't mean they want to be there. You know what I mean? Anyway, go ahead. What were you saying, Joshua?
And yeah, I just pray the best for these three. We love them and miss them. And yeah, you guys just keep them in your prayers, man. Keep this whole family in your prayers. The whole thing's just a sad situation. It really is. It was something that started out as something good and it just spiraled down and ended up being something bad. But maybe for these three, it was a blessing in disguise. You never know. Because they really did need extra care and extra help.
They could have had that brought in. You know what I mean? Everybody else has the help brought in. They don't get strapped down on gurneys and hauled away in ambulances. You know what I mean? Most of the time, social services, sends people over to help you.
Not anymore. But she tried her hardest. That's for damn sure. But yeah, this is Ray right now. Definitely the GOAT for sure. Miss you, Uncle Ray. We love you. And as always, I'll bring you the real deal and uncut. Peace.
All right. That's not the one that they're talking about. Those guys wanting to work. Let me see. I'll find it though. Yeah, I guess they live in Odd, West Virginia too. Odd's pretty small, you guys. It's not.
So, some of you may know from watching my videos.
Hold on.
I'm a dog.
Yeah. I don't know where the heck it is.
Stop.
He's a dog dad. All right, Whittaker update. Ray Whittaker. All right, Ray's the GOAT. Oh no, look at what he's got on here. Look what he's got. Look at the video that he's got. Hold on a second. This is the video that he's got where he gives Timmy a phone. and then demands a hug for it. Yeah. Man, guys, this right here. Eric first gave Timmy a cell phone. All right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where that one. Oh, puppies. Oh, puppies. I don't know where the one, even the Whittakers alone. Oh, this has got to be it. This is, they, look, this is it. They enjoy the fame. All right, ready? Ready for this? A second. Hold on, Joshua. Yeah, this is one where he said they want to be videotaped. Now let me know if you guys can hear it.
Good morning or good evening from wherever you're watching from.
Good
As
evening.
always, bringing an update on what's going on with the Whittaker family from West Virginia. You know, reading through some of the comments, I just see numerous people stating this family should have been left alone. Leave this family alone. Let me clarify something for you. This family doesn't want to be left alone. Larry and Betty and all of them, they want to be filmed. Like I've heard numerous different stories about contracts that have been signed where they're going to be splitting money with certain creators in order to get some money from social media since everything from Patrick and Eric is kind of in limbo right now. But yeah,
Kind
the
of.
Whitakers don't want to be left alone. That's what people need to understand. Like they are here for this. Like they enjoy the money, they enjoy the fame, they want to be videoed. So for everyone saying, leave the Whitakers alone, this family shouldn't be filmed. Like, well go tell them that. You know what I mean?
Is the sound okay? Let me know if the sound's okay.
Like, because if we're not reporting on what's going on with them, somebody else is going to be because that's what they want. You know? So just for the people stating, you know, that they should have been left alone, just understand that, yeah, maybe they should have, but that's not what they want. And so, considering that it's their lives and not the people who have been commenting, uh, I guess that we have to kind of go with their wishes, you know? So it's just something that I wanted to jump on and clarify and get through everyone's heads that have been saying that comment because I've seen it a million times, over and over from different social media platforms.
I would like to know who his parents are if he's the nephew, because I remember I had that family tree. You can look up the family tree, but he's calling Larry and Ray his uncles and Betty and Lorraine his aunts. So in order for that to happen, I mean, unless he's an in-law, how does that work? Anyway, I didn't see him on the family tree. Maybe it was one of the branches I didn't overlooked. I don't know. Is it in and out? Okay. All right. Hold on a second. Let me see what you guys are saying here. Yeah, if the sound is sucky, I don't know. You have an air quality for tomorrow? Is it because of the smoke? You'll probably never get the attention from the governor. We barely do. Have a lot of attention from the week for the disasters and stuff. Kathy, they enjoy the money. I don't think they understand how famous they are. That's right. Alicia, I wish I lived there. I don't use credit cards, only debit. The sound is so okay. But you can see the words on the screen, right? Because we still have another minute and a half to go with this. Yeah. All right. Can I smell formaldehyde? Newsman just said when pine trees burn, it will release formaldehyde. as a byproduct into the air. Really? Yeah, it is gross. I don't know. Smells like a bonfire at a campground or something. Definitely smell wood burning. Last year, the first time I ever smelt it, my windows were open overnight, and I woke up to that smell, and I thought either my house was on fire or one of the outbuildings was on fire. And I jumped up, looked to see if the house was on fire. Then I ran out. It was really smoky, and I thought, oh my God, something's on fire. And I looked around, and none of my buildings were on fire. And I'm thinking, what in the hell? And I looked to see if there was a fire in town, and there wasn't. And then I looked, and it's from Canada. From Canada. Never had DoorDash. I've never had DoorDash. They don't come out here. He is lying, allegedly, in my opinion. For you don't think he's a Whittaker? Wish you could ask BJ if this guy's related. Yeah, right. Tolerable. Okay. James, sorry for the smoke, guys. I'm an hour and a half ferry ride plus others hour drive away from fires. There's zero smoke here in Vancouver. Really? It seems to be getting worse since this morning. I don't know how many days it'll be this time. It's too good to live in Governor's Mansion. Maybe he's looking. Maybe he's looking to make the money. That's right. He is not related at all. I've been talking to the bum over here. Okay, so who is he? He's calling him his family. All right, let's see. Let's go ahead, Joshua. What were you saying?
Everyone comments the same thing about leaving them alone, but that's not what they want, you know. So
he never said that Betty. Well, I don't know, maybe he
just pray that Timmy, Lorraine, and Ray are doing absolutely wonderful, because you know what? I started thinking about it this morning. Like, I miss seeing videos of them. I really miss seeing videos of Timmy and how he's growing, you know, and getting better with things. And I really hope that people are still working with him and that he's still elevating and getting better and better. I hope that he's got a million coloring books and that he's just, you know, really enjoying his time where he's at. And I pray that they're not in a bad mental state.
Well, he just said that they were happy. Listen, if Whittaker's was his family, why wouldn't he say, "Hey, I talked to Betty, she said this. I talked to Larry, he said that. I talked to Kenny, I talked to whoever." He's doesn't act like he's on the inside connections. You know what I mean? Okay, I recognize this guy though. Are you guys serious? All right. They are. I recognize this guy through maybe not from Guthrie, but it's the guy that said his BIL was the sheriff of the county. Oh, his brother-in-law is the sheriff? Oh. Right, Justin. This guy has 60,000. This guy? He's got 60,000? Really? Yep, smoke. Oh, they really? Must be getting everywhere. I want you to have Justin sign. You want Justin up on the panel again? We can. Justin, you want to come up? Hey. Yeah. About Joshua. BJ's son said he is not related. Hey, Nazarene, good to see you tonight. BJ's son said he is not related to the family on Facebook post sometime last year. BJ's son said he's not a relative. Well, he's claiming to be. Or are we just calling everybody aunt and uncle? His family owns a large hotel company, not Hilton, but close. This guy's, it feels like a damn sun outside. I know. You can't even open the windows now because even though it's cool out, I just got choked out. I could have it taste it in my throat. Never had DoorDash either. Nah, I never did. Note how amazing Joshua never ever does a video with the actual family. That is true. If he lives in odd West Virginia, because you can say you live anywhere, you know what I mean? I could say I live in odd West Virginia. But if he lived there, you'd think he'd stop by and do a little. And if he not only okay, so if he's a relative, he lives nearby, and the Whittakers need money, why doesn't he go over and do videos? Because I'm going to tell you what, I'd be real careful right now, videotaping Betty and Larry, because Patrick got charged for exploiting them as vulnerable adults. Now, maybe, I don't know if he did something fair and square. I don't know. But I don't know. Until that gets cleared up, I probably wouldn't be saying nothing. I wouldn't go over there with the camera. Now the rest of them that aren't vulnerable, you got John, his brother, Jason, who were kind of living on the property, remember? And all them campers. I don't know about Jason, but John was living there. You got BJ, you got other people Kenny, go interview Kenny. He hasn't been called vulnerable yet. Is only a seal, huh? Yeah, he should do it. Yeah, Joshua's a grifter. The only time I've seen him was with that Timmy spotting in the grocery store with the caseworker, allegedly. Well, I'd be fine. Good to see you tonight. Betty is my brother-in-law's sister's cousin. Okay, Betty is my brother-in-law's sister. It'd have to be some. Well, can you still call her Aunt Betty? Joshua lives here in Florida. Wait, what? It says odd West Virginia. How can that be? All right, let's listen to the rest of it. Go ahead, Joshua.
They've been around Betty their whole lives. They really have. And
so have you.
Now they're not. So this is all brand new for them. And I just pray in the name of Jesus that whoever they are around is treating them good with kindness, because they're sweet souls. They really are.
Yeah,
they deserve the best. So as always, keep this family in your prayers. But yeah, just for all the people commenting about leaving the family alone, it's not what they want. So buckle up and be prepared to see a lot more from the Whittaker family, because that's what's in store.
But wait, who?
Have a great day. Be blessed. Good morning.
Okay, so there's that. Okay, and my question is, if Betty and Larry are now getting visits with their family again, with the three, why would they risk losing those visits over some quick cash when it took them forever? And remember, the first thing they said to Eric is, you better not have no cameras around. And now there's leaked videos. I mean, well, one video for sure, and leaked photos of the three in the state scare. So right now, it's just like would be the worst time to probably come out with the, videotaped. I don't know. I just believe that Betty and Larry probably have some terms about social media and visiting the family. There's got to be, because that's what got them in the jam to begin with, right? Is the social media. So yeah, I can see him being told. Hold on a second. Plug my phone in here because it really sucks the battery on StreamYard. But yeah, I would have to believe that not going on social media is probably one of the stipulations for Betty and Larry. But yeah. Anyway, so is he a relative? Is he not a relative? I don't know. I don't know about that. And if people are questioning him, why don't he just come out with some pictures, Oh, and I'm going to show you something real quick. So on Dad Talk today, so, Eric, he's been hobnobbing with the celebrities. He, basically shamed Patrick for working on his house while he's under house arrest, implying that he has the money, Whittaker's money. He himself goes out to Las Vegas for the second trip to hobnob with these MMA fighters. Okay, and get this. I think that week in Las Vegas may have went to Eric's head a little bit, because he's back now, and he look, you guys. Eric got mistaken for a MMA fighter all week, you guys. Everybody thought that he was a fighter too. Yeah, I'm having a hard time believing that. Here, so he got home 2 days ago. Okay, this 2 days ago. Breaking news. My undefeated MMA career has officially come to an end. Laughy face. All weekend long, people kept asking if I was a UFC fighter. Was it the bat wings that gave him away? Yeah. Okay. Anybody believe that Eric kept getting mistaken for MMA fighter? Besides maybe hanging around these two, because nobody mistake Kelsey Grammer for an MMA fighter, but whatever. All weekend long, people kept asking if I was a UFC fighter. I had to keep telling them, nope, just a guy who loves the sport. He quoted that. Well, this weekend I finally got my opportunity. Unfortunately, my MMA career lasted about 3 seconds before the Predator handed me my first loss, record 0-1. All right, so the big Hall of Famer, Don Fry, and the other guy. Yeah, so he did a whole bunch of these photo ops. Now, somebody looked up the price of these tickets because there's, he says he's hanging with his friends and stuff. Yeah, I don't think he got mistaken for one of the fighters. Yeah, in his dreams, I think so too. Eric is full of it. Full of bullshit. Possibly drugs, alcohol, allegedly for entertainment purposes only. Yeah, so how many people raise your hand if you think Eric was mistaken? While maybe it was the Hulkamania shirt, but then wouldn't you be a wrestler? But anyway, and it looked like he had that shirt on all weekend. But anyway, oh no, he had a blue one on. So yeah, are you guys mistaking? Are you guys mistaking Eric for an MMA fighter because he's putting his fist out in these pictures? Oh, and there was even a picture with a girl who had a fist. Where's that one? That was funny. Yeah. Okay, here, look, him and Mark Douche and his two legends, Dan and Don, at a Japanese barbecue. Where's the one with the girl? Oh, no, not that one. Well, he's got one where he's like doing a punchy thing at a girl, too. He might have taken that one off. I should see if it's on the other one. But yeah, he's just coming down from the high, being in Las Vegas with all his friends. Eric reminds you of a wet, slimy frog, right? Yep. And if you kiss him, yes. A second. Huh, he must have taken that other one down. There was a picture of him making a fist at some lady. Oh, maybe it's on here. Hold on a second. Yeah. Now some people are. Yeah. I don't even see that picture anymore. That's funny. Somebody must have said something. Somebody must have called him out on it. There's a picture of some lady, and he had his arm around her, and he's making a fist to her face. You know what I mean? I thought that's weird, but yeah, it's gone now. 81 feels like 88. Yeah, that's that humidity, isn't it? It was like that here. It was. Hold on, chicken finger. Yeah, it was like that here. It was 90 something and it felt like 91, it felt like 100. That has gotta be the humidity. Let's see. Now it's so weird because didn't they like look up Eric before they started hanging out with him for the night? Anyway, maybe not. Maybe they just so because those tickets, those backstage tickets, the one that him and Douche had were, I think, like $3,500 a piece for the top tier. And the top tier, I'm sure, would be backstage passes, Photoshop with your friend, with Kramer, or no, what's his name, Frazier, and the fighters and stuff. Now I can only imagine the bullshit story that Eric gave them in order to go to a Japanese barbecue with these guys. Hey, you don't mind if I tag along, do you? I'm really big fans of you guys. Really, really. I got like 1 million subscribers right now. I'll talk about you guys. Yeah. No, it was the muscles in his mouth, right? I'd love to see him step foot in the ring. He'd be knocked out. So right. Yeah, something tells me he's not really a fighter. You know, he might argue a lot, but I don't think he would do too well with another man. MMA crowd is pretty vocal. Hey, always Faith. How many recognized him and asked him if he was paid the Whittakers yet? He'd never tell us that. You're right. Right. I mean, there's got to be people who recognize him. You know what I mean? And he'll never tell you that. You know, he wants people to think he's, sun rises and sets on him. So, but yeah, maybe because of his loud mouth, maybe. Yeah, the Justin said he would come up. He would come up. Did he? Did I miss his comment? Justin, do you want to come up here? Hold on a second. Justin, are you still here? If you want to come up, you can come up. Hold on a second. I'll put a link up for you. Let's see. Hold on a second. Oh, okay, Justin. Hold on a second. Let me get the link, okay? Let's see. Now I'm not the best at this on the phone, so. All right, Justin, there you go. Grab that real quick. Grab my headphones. Oh, wait, did I post that? Hold on a second. Oh, sorry. There it goes. All right. Well, hey, T, bro. Good to see you tonight. Welcome. All right. Yeah, yes, she did, and you could see it on her face. Learning curve. Yep. Certainly is. Oh, okay. There's Justin. Can you hear me, Justin?
Fine, Kathy, how you doing? Can you hear me?
A second. Wait. I got. Never mind. Can you hear me, Justin?
Hear me? Hold on
Yeah.
one second.
Can you?
One
Okay.
second.
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Perfect. How about you guys? Can you hear them in the chat? All right, I think so. Yeah, they said you can hear you, Justin. So how you doing?
I'm not doing too good, Kathy. I just wanted to jump on with you for a minute. I'm not doing real good. I just had 2 more stents put in my heart on Tuesday, and then it ended up in ICU till Friday. Before
Oh,
I
really?
home, they said that the plant that they were taking out of my arteries was moving faster than ever expected, and it caused some major complications. It really almost cost me my life, Kathy, but I've got to go back to the heart doctor tomorrow to do more tests to see if they want to put me back in the hospital, but I had to go back to another doctor yesterday. I've got Mercer in my foot.
Oh, wow.
With a flesh-eating bacteria. So they got me on antibiotics. So I'm going through a lot of things right now.
Okay. Is there any way to turn up your volume? They're saying your volume's low.
I don't know what's going on with this phone.
Maybe just go a little closer.
Kathy, I think what it is, I got my. Let's see what this says I can do here. I've never had a problem with my volume on here.
Okay. Well, a lot of people are rooting for you, Justin. Praying for you.
Can I try to jump off and then sign back on with you, Kathy?
Sure. You can do that.
Okay, just give me just a minute.
Okay, I will.
All right, bye-bye.
All right. I was following them at first when they first started because I got led by the lie. Yeah. Good to see you tonight, J4. Yeah, just get close to the phone, Justin. Yeah, just get closer to the phone, yeah. We're picking up some wind, I guess. Yeah, good to have you here, J4. Good to see you. Been watching you for last year. Well, thank you. I appreciate you being here. Yeah, we'll get him back here in a second. If you guys any questions for Justin, let me know. Hey, he's not even going all the way out, I don't think. I think his camera's going off. Yeah, just a little closer to the mic, I think would work. Yeah, health and healing to Justin. Yep. Anyway, he'll come back. And so in case anybody couldn't hear him, he said he was in the hospital this week. Last week. He went in on Tuesday. He was there till Friday. He had a couple of stents put in his heart, I imagine for blockage reasons, and he may have to go back again. They're doing some tests. I think he said he had Mercer. which is a bad infection in his, I think it said in his foot. Anyway, so yeah, he needs some prayers and some healing. hmm Yeah, I don't know if he's diabetic, but them sores can go get like wildfire real quick. Yeah, so, oh, there he is. Sorry, Justin, I looked away for a second. All right, you're back? I think you're back, Justin. Can you hear me? Yeah, I can hear you clicking, Justin. Oh, there he is again. Hold on a second. Justin, are you up there twice? Turn on your other camera if you're up here twice. There you go. Okay. Yeah. You can come back in. Yes, we did not see dear Jane tonight, so hopefully she's doing well. Prayers for dear Jane. Yeah, she had a cold. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, he probably should be resting, huh? We don't want to stress him out or anything. Yeah. Yep. Prayers for dear Jane. Yep. Everybody, prayers for. All right. How about that, Justin? Can you hear?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, way better. Way better.
Okay, that Joshua guy.
Yeah.
I've been talking to him for a year, so I was talking to him back even when Eric and them was doing the deal with the Whittakers. So
Yeah.
he's just another tech creator is all he is, and he's got I think like 50,000 followers. I think.
Well, he's saying that he's a relative of the Whitakers, isn't he? Doesn't he say
Yeah,
that, or?
yeah, but he's not. He's not being serious about that. He calls Ray Uncle Ray. Uh, just out of speech. It didn't as like his uncle, but and no, they're not related whatsoever. And he's not in odd West Virginia either. He's in Florida.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure his page said West Virginia. I wonder why he wrote that.
I have no idea, Kathy, but I know he's in
Uh,
Florida, and I know wherever he works at night. I think a
uh,
shipyard or something like that.
all right. So maybe he just calls them um, uncle and aunt, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think it's misleading because a lot of people are taking it literally, like they're relatives.
Well, if you went on this page, he's been throwing some updates about Eric, saying he doesn't think he'll ever be charged, and I think we all pretty well know better than that. But uh, has anybody got any questions they'd like to ask me or anything, Kathy?
Uh, Susan said so. Says, how about any news about Eric being arrested?
No, Eric's going to be arrested. I said back in November when I was talking about them being indicted that Patrick would probably be first. I wasn't sure about it, but there was so much stuff. It was so much stuff on Eric that it was going to take them a long, long time to get through everything because you got
Yeah.
to remember they've got to talk to every person that donated through any kind of channel. They have to get the financial statements from each individual place. Uh, they have to find out from each platform how much money was revenue from a certain part of time to another part of time. And I also told Toddy back in October or November that the APS did tell me that they're letting Eric run those pages on purpose. They never said why, but they told the investigator and not to take those pages down until they were ready to take them down. And I think it was January before they did finally take them down, but that's about
Well,
all I do know right now.
well, he said that they told him to take him down in December, and I think it was on the 10th or something when the Whittaker page went down. So, what do you think about the Whittaker page that I pulled up that looked official? That's
Nah,
from the owner in New York City.
yeah, but that's been up for a little while. There's nothing to it. I don't have no idea who's behind it. At first, I thought maybe Eric could be behind it, but I'm not really sure about that.
Hmm.
And New York City sounds kind of funny too.
Yeah, it is kind of funny, and but they're using like the Whittaker logo, like their brand, their artwork and stuff, and
Well, Dwayne's the one that did that artwork. The artwork that's on that page.
yeah,
There,
that's what I thought. That
yeah,
was for the website.
that is the exact work that Dwayne did. That's Dwayne's work.
And yeah, and he's got all them videos and stuff. So I don't know. Uh,
But that
I,
that could be somebody that was in that 5-person crowd with him.
right,
Could be any
right,
one of them that's doing that. No telling.
right. Could have been his buddies. Maybe could be splitting with was.
But I just want to let everybody know: keep your heads up, keep on clicking. Eric will end up in jail, and I can personally promise every person he is going to end up in jail. I can't promise for how long, but he is going to jail. Nobody can do what this man did and not go to jail. I don't care
Uh,
what kind of I don't care what kind of prosecutor made a deal or sheriff or anybody made any kind of deal. He is going to go to jail because it was cross state lines. And
mhm,
and I did have a conversation 4 months ago with the GBI, Georgia Bureau of Investigation, and uh,
mhm.
and there is open investigations on him in Georgia. Uh, I don't know how they're coming. They will not disclose anything to you unless you are a part of that investigation. Then they will discuss it with you.
Yeah. So what? Tina wants to know: do you think there'll be a federal indictment? I'm not sure who she means, Patrick
I,
or
I, I,
Eric.
well, they won't be on Patriot, but they will be federal on and state on uh, Eric, unless West Virginia absolutely refuses to bring any charges, then all of his charges will be federal charges.
Yeah. So what do you think about Patrick? Somebody said he's been charged but not indicted. Now I looked up today, it can go either way. They can be indicted first, then charged, or charged and then indicted. But anyway,
Let me tell you this now,
hmm
and I'm the one that broke that when it went down. I broke it, not anybody else. I was the first person that broke he had been arrested. I received a call that says he has been indicted and he will be in jail within the next hour. And I made my call to confirm that with the person. And then within 20 minutes, we broke the story. And probably a half an hour after that, uh, a half hour after that, what's his name? The guy that's in West Virginia too, He's a good guy. The Apicote, I don't know how to say it. The Appalachian, is that how you say it? Or
Oh, Cripalachia.
Cripalachia.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he knew about it too. He knew about it
Mm-hmm.
probably about the same time I knew about it. I heard that he heard on the police scanner between two deputies that they were on the way to pick him up right then. And that's the reason that he got somebody to get involved that worked for him to go down and be ready to shoot this.
At the courthouse, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you think about them pictures being leaked from that wherever they're being held?
Well, I believe they're true. I believe there's some true stuff in that because, like I said back in November, APS did tell me that they were in a motel and they would be going into a small family home setting. They will not be in a big nursing home or facility of any kind. All that's come out. You can go back to Toddy's page and listen to the recordings on it. And I did inform everybody that, and now it is coming out that they are in a smaller facility. I think the girl's name was Joni that was on your podcast about a week ago that was telling you all this stuff. Kathy, do you remember that?
Um, no, not really.
Well, she
Somebody
was on
that.
that. She was on that telling you that I think, said she was had worked for the nursing facility or something, and that they were in a small uh, setting, a house rather than a big facility, and I think she said her name was Joni. And
No, she was. Oh, what did I say?
you ask her like 10 or 15 questions. And
I don't remember her being a guest up here, but
no, she wasn't a guest. She was just in the comments, and you were talking back and forth,
mm,
asking her questions back and forth about the Whittakers and about uh, being in a smaller facility, and she gave you the upright on that, which they are, and I knew it was.
yeah.
Uh,
So they're probably in like a private home.
yeah,
The
yeah,
three of them in one
yeah,
private home.
most definitely. They're all three together in a small facility.
Hmm.
Um, and I feel like, if anything's ever done, which I doubt it ever will be, but my heart's really broke about every bit of it. And I do talk to BJ occasionally. Uh, they've been reaching out for me this past month that they need $700 real bad to get Larry's driver's license back and to get insurance on the van. And I told them right now I just wasn't in a financial situation to help them, that I would try to reach out to some folks that may be able to help them out. But if
When did you?
anybody,
How long
if
ago was that you
well,
talked to them?
I talked to her this past. I had my surgery on Tuesday, so I talked to her the Friday before my surgery, and then I talked to her on Friday, the day I got out of the hospital. So I talked to
So,
her. I also
uh-huh.
talked to Larry too, to start with, and then I told him to have BJ call me because he acted like he couldn't hear me on the phone.
Right.
So, but he did dial my number and call me. So, uh, and I did tell her I just wasn't financially able to help them right now, but they're trying to come up with the money, $700 to get insurance and to get Larry's license reinstated because they were suspended because of no insurance on the van. But if anybody's willing to help them, they can reach out to me or reach out to you, and I'll be glad to provide her Cash App, BJ's Cash App address, if anybody's interested in helping them at all, because they definitely need it.
So I remember that they had their insurance paid by that one guy, 6 months, Jerry McGowan or whatever.
Yep, yep.
So
And
what?
they
Now
were,
it's expired.
Yeah, they were pulled over and charged with no insurance. The van was impounded. Larry ended up losing his license 30 days later because he still didn't have insurance on the van. So they pulled his license for it.
Wow. This must have all been recent, huh?
Yeah, yeah. I told you, I just last time I talked to her was this past Friday. And they
Wow.
also said they didn't have anything to eat. You know, I said, well, let me see what I can do. But if anybody's interested in BJ's cash app address, I'll be happy to give it to whoever. And when you put in her address on Cash App, it will pull her name up.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Did you talk to them on the house phone or what?
yes, well, I talked to him on the house phone, and I also talked to BJ on her cell phone when Larry had her to call me back so she could hear me.
Yeah, because she only can use a cell phone when she's got Wi-Fi, right? Like in
No,
town.
I don't think so because
Or she got a
any,
new cell phone?
I don't know if it's new or not, but because I didn't go back to look, but I've got anytime I've called that number in the last 2 weeks, she picks up the phone, even if it's after 2 or 3 rings. And every once in a while, she won't pick it up, but she does call you back. Uh, like maybe she might have been busy or whatever. And if you text her, she'll answer you pretty well. Sometime it might be 5 minutes, sometime it might be 2 hours, but she will answer you back.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think I just had their house phone number. She gave me the house phone number a few months back, so.
Well,
Uh,
I'll email
yeah.
that phone number to you
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
Cash App and her Cash App. So if you see
Okay.
anybody that's willing to help them. And one more thing I want to clarify while I'm talking to you. Betty
Uh-huh.
never moved out of state like people speculating. Betty did go up to Keisha's uh, 2 or 3 different times for a week or 10 days at a time. But I've got a person that's following me that's been reporting to me. In fact, I'm not going to share them, but I've even got pictures recently in the last 2 months of Betty at Walmart, uh, and that Betty is living with her friend and has been for several months in the hollow just right up the road from her house. So that's where she is. She's right there. Uh, I can't get anyone to answer questions about if they're being able to see the family because I did not want to go into that with her, and because I don't want them to feel like I just want a relationship to pump information about this.
Right. So I think she goes back and forth from her friend's house, who probably stays there most of the time, but she still visits the house and everything, right?
Well, very seldom. They do see each other, a couple of times a week, but very seldom does she actually go to the house and stay for a half a day or anything, is what I'm being told.
Yeah.
But
All right. Nazarene says, "What happened to all the money Justin had to help the family? I don't think you ever collected any money, did you?"
no, I didn't collect no money from nobody, but I will tell you what happened to my part of the money. I
Mm-hmm.
was in a road rage accident January the 23rd of 2026, and a guy road raged me, totaled my vehicle out, and all I had was liability, so I had to go buy me another vehicle, and that's the reason I don't have money to help them anymore.
Yeah, I remember you told me about that.
Yeah,
I think you even showed me the vehicle smash.
yeah, I've got the.
Mm-hmm.
I went to court back in May on it, and the guy standing right there lying through his teeth, and the judge still found me guilty. It was just an unbelievable deal, you know. But
Okay. Yeah. Oh, sorry to hear that. I hope your
well,
vehicle you have now is suitable.
oh yeah, well it is.
hmm
But
Yeah. So
go ahead.
somebody, yeah, I'm sorry. So somebody, always Faith wants to know, why does Betty visit Larry and Bijan seldomly? Like, why isn't she over there all the time?
I have no idea about that part of it.
Is she?
I know that they visit her some and she visits them some, and it's not
Uh,
a long-term visit.
yeah, but they're pretty close.
Oh,
She might really like her new place, huh? With her
well,
friend.
I'm thinking that she's just trying to. I think she's just trying to show somebody there who it is. I don't know
Hmm
that, in my opinion, that she can stay away from Betty and Larry for whatever reason. That's my opinion about it.
Yeah, I think so too. I think she wanted to distance herself from that because her visits, depending on if the people who have the three family members, if they frown on the relationship with BJ or Larry or whatever, yeah, I guess she would have to distance herself for the sake of the visits.
I wish that I give you BJ's number.
Yeah,
I do pray and wish that you can try to get her to come on to a
yeah,
podcast with you
yeah,
live and discuss before y'all do the live exactly what you're going to ask her and see if she can answer those questions, what you're intelligent
yeah,
enough to know
yeah,
that. But I'm
yep,
sure a lot of people would really like to hear what she can say. And
right.
and I
Yeah, I
know
was
that,
thinking. Yeah, I was going to do that too. Is seeing if she wants to come on and talk. Um, because yeah, she's I think she can. I mean, I don't think there's no legal reason why she can't, but yeah, she can pick and choose what she wants to say. But
I'm
yeah, I
not
agree.
real. I'm not really sure if she had to sign anything with APS herself or not, or
Mm-mm.
make a deal with law enforcement. Because I think between all this, I think that there were some deals made with law enforcement, kind of blackmail situation. Uh,
To the Whitakers, you mean?
yeah, with Larry and Betty and DJ on different things that they could say they could be charged with and stuff. And
Right.
just let everybody know, I am not completely against Patrick. I believe that some charges that he will not be exonerated on, but there will be some charges that he will have to face, and because they are going to find him guilty on it. And I'm going to tell you the number one reason they will find him guilty
Mm-hmm.
is for the fact he never gave the Whitakers a dollar. That's number one.
I agree. I agree.
No intention. I promise you. I promise you that's going to happen. But I'm thinking that maybe about half of his charge. I don't think he'll be found guilty, but maybe 4 to 5 of his charges.
Yeah, I agree. I think they always overcharge, and then so they can drop some of them in a bargaining or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. Probably some will be dropped down. Like now, like I said, somebody was saying that Patrick has been charged, but has not been indicted. And the next indictments for the grand jury in Raleigh is in September. So,
Well,
um,
I got the call the last day of indictment, saying he was indicted and he was going to be picked up within the next hour. And then
so you think
three,
okay?
so
So you think he was indicted in January
absolutely. They
already?
don't
And
think about this. Think about this, Kathy. They
mhm.
do not wait till the last indictment day to decide just to go lock somebody up just because they got evidence. That was
True.
indictment week. It was the last indictment day. And they
Yeah.
redeemed for the day and they immediately sent and picked him up. I mean, it's no big deal to me whether he was or was not indicted, but he was definitely indicted.
Hmm. Yeah, because I heard it can go either way. You can get indicted first, then charged, or
Yeah,
charged and then
but
indicted.
but
But
if you
somebody
think
said he
about
wasn't.
if you
Hmm.
think about it,
Hmm.
it was the last day of indictments, the very
Yeah.
last day.
Hmm.
And I got the call that he was definitely indicted, would be picked up within the next hour.
Hmm. Interesting.
And I made my call to my person, which you know who that was, and told him that he was being arrested. And with 20 minutes later, I called her to verify he has been arrested.
Hmm. So yeah. So anyway, the indictments. I think that they work on them and then they're announced at those times, right? Like they're announced in January, then they're announced in May, and then they're announced in September, right? And
Uh,
I think that they arrest them first
no,
before they, I
they,
mean, they might indict them, but I don't think they bring it to the public
they,
until after they've been arrested.
the indictments, like on indictment week, from first day to last day of that week, they announce the indictments the same day
Hmm.
to the sheriff's department, to the court, to whoever. Not to the public though,
Right.
but they do have that information the same day they're indicted.
Yeah. Uh, Tina, well, not my monkey, said she thinks the law is crooked as a $3 bill in the holler. It's just her opinion, but we've seen some kind of crooked stuff. So,
Oh,
um,
we've seen a ton of it, and
mhm.
I know everybody is just as upset or more upset than I am about Eric not being arrested
Right.
yet, because I was really hoping that he would be the first one. But like I
Hmm.
said in the beginning of it, that I didn't think he would be first because they had so much more stuff to go through with Eric that it was going to take more than 6 months. I've said 6 months to a year.
Yeah. Well, when I looked
So
it up, yeah, it said they always start with the smaller fish they
yeah,
arrest first,
yeah.
and then they do certain things with the smaller fish, and then they go for the bigger fish. And my opinion, I think it's obvious Eric's a bigger fish because
It,
there was so much more money, and I think he's probably been in trouble with some other things. It sounds like so.
well, he's gonna have so many charges on them. It's gonna be unbelievable. Watch and see, Cappy. He's gonna have
No.
a lot of damn charges.
Well, yeah, and they never cleared him as a suspect, and so Eric was trying to tell everybody that uh, how angry he was because people were saying he's still a suspect, but as we know, they've not announced that he's been cleared. So, yeah, I think it's just a matter of time. Also,
You know,
and
wherever you get me a message, I think it was on your website
mhm.
about I need your email address, and then somebody commented a couple messages down, said, "Oh, you got Kathy snowballed or something like that. That you convinced her that Eric's guilty. No, that Eric did all this and blah blah blah." And I wanted to say, hey man, are you stupid? Did you not have eyes to see what millions of other people have seen here? You know, come on,
Right.
get real about it.
Yeah, no, I will say, Justin, it's never snowballed me. No, I always listen to your opinion and stuff, but yeah. So, uh, Tina says, Justin, do you think Patrick pocketed donation money and goods from the Whittakers?
I
What's
I
your
think
opinion? Just
I
opinion.
I think that I think that the goods that they did do away with, I think what one of the Whitakers was and did have knowledge of it. Uh, and I think maybe they may be a few more expensive things that they did not have knowledge of. I believe that's a two-way street there.
Well, yeah, okay. So now the story's changed because before, so I've heard this story that Patrick was selling sheets and household stuff that was donated out of the back of his truck in town, Then I also heard that he was doing that with Betty, with her consent, with her there. And then now Patrick says that none of that happened. He never sold anything.
Yeah,
Eh,
well, that's not. Uh, I was told for a fact that back when they was handing out them vegetables, him and Timmy and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
whoever else was did that grocery
Mm-hmm.
vegetable deal 2 or 3
Yeah.
weeks there in a row. I heard that he was selling stuff out of his truck with the permission. It might have just been the permission of Timmy. I don't know. Uh, but
Yeah.
I really don't know. There's a lot of strange stuff in that. And,
Yeah, and I do
you
think it
know,
was about the time when they were handing out vegetables out the back of their vehicle, if I remember.
yeah. And not only
Mhm.
not only that, no matter what happens to Patrick, I hope that the court shows a little mercy on him for the fact that I think he had good intentions to start with, and Eric come in the picture and blew it up into $1 million deal.
Yeah,
And the minute that somebody comes into something that you're creating and trying to make a little bit of money, and then somebody else wants to come in and tell you it's going to be $1 million deal, and then won't start putting everything in their name where they're the ones receiving the money. You
right,
sure knew that should have been a red flag. Bye bye. See you later. Go back to Georgia. You know.
right. I said, wow, things would have been so much different if Patrick would have just got somebody local to help him set all these accounts up. Eric would have never even been
I
involved.
think
You know what I mean?
I think Patrick really had good intentions. I promise you, I
Yeah,
really do. I
yeah, I
said
think
that
so.
first
I,
day.
I think so, but I think after that first gigantic payday, I think they both kind of lost their mind, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
I think the money was so overwhelming. They just wanted, in my opinion, I think it was obvious they wanted to ace out the Whittakers and probably just take their content, Timmy,
Well,
somehow
let me
legal.
just go ahead and tell you. I'll just go ahead and tell you my honest opinion about it.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
My honest opinion is like you said when they got that first paycheck, the good one,
Mm-hmm.
the very
July
first good one.
July 21st. Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Eric went to Patrick. They made a deal
Yep.
between themselves. The Whitakers don't get a cut, and we're going to end up with all this money. What
Yep.
Patrick didn't know that Eric took him for a fool and took him
Right.
out as long as the right along with the Whitakers. And that's
Yeah.
what I really
Yeah.
believe that happened.
Yeah. Yep. I believe the plan was to buddy up with Patrick, ace out the Whitakers out of their money, and then he will double cross Patrick and
Yeah,
ace him out and end up with the prize. And it was too bad. It just like in 1 month he was so in a hurry to get Timmy to himself and the money to himself that
yeah,
wow. I mean, just so it was so frantic and so just a horrible plan. You know what I mean? That and he way underestimated the thousands of people that were watching. You know, some of these live streams, he had 6,000 people watching.
oh, I know.
You
I
know what I mean? And
absolutely
so
know it
uh,
was.
I think he was so had such a high opinion of himself that he thought he could, him and his buddies could flamboozle the entire world that was watching because I think he thought they were smarter than everybody else, but he underestimated people, especially with the Amish stuff. That was dumb, and I think that in itself woke a lot of people up. I mean,
Yeah, it was all a game. That's the reason that the BJ ended up going to jail. He felt that was
right?
the end of her.
Yeah,
Then he didn't get that done, so he decided to have the three took out of the house so
hmm
he could make his getaway to take all
yeah,
the attention off of him to get
yeah.
him on out of town, and that's exactly what happened here. You know.
Well, he thought he was going to get Timmy, and that the rest will be collateral
Yeah,
damage. And,
yeah,
and
exactly.
so, what did you think when he came out a few weeks ago or whatever, and said that adult protection used him and the county used him, and his friend Mark was sitting there, insulting all the authorities too. What did you think about that? That they were double crossed?
I think they're full of shit. That's what I think.
Hmm.
I think they're
So
full
yeah,
of crap. That uh, maybe he felt like the APS was going to help him get Timmy. He thought it was going to go his way, but after they seen through everything that transpired there with money and everything, they said this guy ain't capable of doing nothing. So
right.
that, so that's when they told him, "Hey, bud, hit the road, go back to Georgia."
Yeah, because yeah, I think he underestimated them too. But I don't know what took so long for the adult protection to catch on to Eric. Like, I think it was so obvious, and they had. I don't even have that kind of training. They're trained to spot, people who are using the system for bad things and stuff.
Yeah,
So I don't know
yeah, but
why it took them so long. Hmm?
yeah, but if you got people that you're getting a call in there and complaining about the
Yeah,
Whitakers to make sure they was overloaded, they're not going to think about any of them until they get them people out of that house. So
right.
that's the reason.
And he had Patrick vouching for the neighbors being abused, and then he had Betty and Larry being blackmailed too. So they vouched that they're being abused, or that
Yeah.
the so yeah, I guess
And then
it,
now he's saying that none of that happened. None of it.
yeah. Yeah,
You know.
he was so surprised when they wanted him to adopt Timmy. He was just so shocked, even though he
Yeah.
talked about it all summer.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so Susan says so much wants to know, Justin, can you tell us why you went to New York and Atlanta for the Whittaker family?
Eventually I can.
Okay,
Eventually
not
I
now.
will.
Okay, all right,
And I do have receipts now where I didn't have receipts before. But eventually I'll be glad to share that with everybody.
right. Okay, and then Susan also says, oh wait, I'm sorry, I missed one. Not my monkey said, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if the state police didn't fill their pockets with some of that Whitaker money too. Oh, yeah.
I don't think he's turned that money over to nobody.
No, I didn't
He
think there
he
is any money.
he keeps saying he has that money put up, but if you were really going to give that money up,
You
you would
would
have
have.
took it to the APS, to the authorities, somebody, and handed them a check and said, "Here's Whitaker's money."
And
He's
does anybody believe that Eric can get tens of thousands in an account and not touch it?
no. I
So
think I think myself personally, I think it's all gone just about it. They
I
may
think
be,
it was gone months ago. Months
yeah,
ago.
they may be 30 or 40,000 left, and I do believe it's over 250,000. I do believe that. With
Well,
everything, with the
yeah,
donations and with all the platforms, I do think it's over 250,000. It's got
yeah,
to be.
yeah.
It's
Even the
got to
news
be.
article recently said it was well over 100,000. So
Yeah.
I honestly I don't believe that there's any money left. I just don't believe there's any because he hasn't showed a receipt. And I do also think it would have really helped Patrick when everybody was saying pay the Whitakers and he showed he had some money in there. Yeah, if he would have just gave him what he had, even if it wasn't all of it,
I
it
don't
would have
think
looked.
I don't think it would ever went to jail. If
Yeah,
they
he might
if
not have. Yeah,
if he would at least maybe give them 25 or 30,000, I don't
yeah,
think he would have had one charge put against him.
right. Or just their fair. Yeah, their fair square. He
Yeah,
probably wouldn't have had no. But yeah, I remember him being on somebody's um, live stream, and they were saying, "Why don't you pay the Whitakers?" And he said, "I'll pay him when I feel like it." And then the host said, "I can respect that." You know what I
yeah,
mean? So, like some people were enraged he didn't pay, and other people were thinking it was cool. So,
yeah.
of course, I was enraged because I think, and yeah, had he just done that, I don't think he would have gotten arrested either.
I mean,
Um,
I'm just listen, man, if one of them would have just come forward, paid these people some money, and even with all the bad stuff that happened, Kathy, they could
Right.
have at least got an attorney and fought to get the three back home and have the
Right.
money to go rent a house if that's what it came to. I
Right.
think
Because
it's
that
just
was, yeah,
sorry. I
it
think
was
it's
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, it is because that would if they would have given them money and like if Eric or Patrick would have said, "Oh, geez, we didn't think they're going to be hauled away like that. Let's help them get back. Let's do what it takes. We'll do a fundraiser. We'll get their house. We'll get a house down the road. We'll get something better. Let's get an attorney. Let's find out what it takes." They could have chipped in and got them back, paid them their money, but it was just like, okay, they got hauled away. I'm keeping my money. You know what I mean? It sounded like for both of them.
Well, what
But
really
they didn't get
turned
a
me,
dime. You know what I mean? They didn't get a
what
dime.
what really turned me off with Patrick was Patrick told me 4 days in a row, 3 or 4, it was close to Thanksgiving, that I was coming up there. My donor was giving me his money. I had my money, and he's taking the money, and we're all going to go in and get her a house, furniture, set it up, have a caretaker, set it all up, get Betty over there, and get these three back home. And on his final phone call, he said, I've got out of town crap going on here for Thanksgiving, and you can't just demand me. And I'm like, we've been talking about this 3 days. What do you mean demand? I mean, what do you mean you got people out of town and you talking about when they all got taken? I'm going up there in the morning. I'm going to get them back. I'm going in the morning. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
actually have the clips of that where he
yeah,
says, "We're getting an attorney. We're gonna get him back. You guys don't worry. We're gonna get him
yeah.
back." And Betty was sitting there crying, and yeah, we're gonna get him back.
And the sad part about it is he had the money right there on the spot
I
to give
know,
them
I
an
know.
attorney to do it.
I know. That's what I said. Each day, it's getting worse and worse. Pretty soon, they're not even going to come back if they don't act on this now. Just give, and I said it. Give them the damn money so they can get an attorney,
Yeah.
and the
Well,
attorney can figure out. Yeah,
Kathy, listen, I've just had heart surgery and I'd like to
yeah,
continue on with you 2 more hours, but I'm getting a little
yeah,
frustrated with talking about what they
yeah,
really did, and
yeah.
I
No,
just
I
don't.
agree, Justin.
I
Yeah,
don't need stress on my heart, darling.
yeah.
And I
No,
want
I agree.
everybody to have a wonderful night. Thanks for inviting me, and please continue prayers for me.
Yes, we will, Justin. You had a lot of support in the chat. People said they're praying for you, and I agree, Justin. You need to
Thank you.
get some rest, and I appreciate you coming up here, and despite that you're not feeling so well. So
And
it's really extra appreciated.
I'll send you that email tomorrow when I get finished at the doctor's, Kathy.
All right, very good. Yep,
All right,
yep. Get
darling.
well.
Thank you.
Get well. We'll pray for you,
All
Justin.
right, thank you very much.
Yep.
Good
Thanks
night.
for coming up. Yep. Good
All right,
night.
bye bye.
Bye. All right. Well, thank you, Justin, for coming up. Um. Yeah, you guys pray for Justin. He's there. He is, signed off there. Yeah, yeah. Me too, I town girl. I hope Justin feels better soon. He just had surgery and um, a week ago, so he just got out of the hospital Friday. So and yeah, he's got to go have more tests tomorrow. So let's hope and pray that it turns out as good as possible or better than he even hopes. That's always good. Um, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go back and look at some of these comments. Not my monkey said, mass evolution's a grander, yeah, right? How do you stake claim on Timmy like he's property and do it only knowing him for a few months? Not even a few months. He met him once for 3 days. So he really only knew him. He had met Timmy once on the first trip at the end of, here, let me get the headphones off. At the end of June, the last few days is the first time he ever met the Whittakers. He was there 3 days, and he didn't really spend too much time with Timmy. Most of the time was with Betty and Larry, talking, interviewing, fishing. I mean, mining for information, and then he was gone all through July. And then when he came back in August, he was only there. I can count. It's less than 14 days before he tried to. Well, within 2 weeks, it was the second visit with his brother is when he took full control of Timmy. And somebody made a good point. You know what? We never saw. Somebody said, we never saw anything on camera where Betty or anybody was given permission for Timmy to go for days and days and days. You know what I mean? We never even saw him get permission to even go overnight. You know what I mean? So how do we even know Betty was even going along with this? They just have to sit there and hope he's bringing the kid back. Or not even kid. Yeah. So anyway, hey Red Frog, good to see you tonight. Welcome. So Susan says to us, if either Patrick or Eric accepted donations for the Whittaker family and kept them, they should be held accountable. I agree. I think that they should pay for what they did and no more and no less. You know what I mean? Just if they're, if they need to be accountable for something, then let that happen. I don't want anything more or anything less. For anybody. I don't think anybody should be pay back more than they owe. Eric played splitsies to weasel out of charges. In my opinion, maybe. I mean, I definitely Okay, so I was thinking today because I watched a little bit of that interview with between Eric and his friend Mark, and they were talking about how horrible the adult protection was and how they got treated. And just think about this. Why are they so furious that they're still a suspect, right? That they weren't cleared. You know what I mean? It's so weird that now him and his buddy Mark, like clockwork, they're on more free trips. And he was just crying. Eric was just complaining that, like, when he came on, that it's been really hard for money. He can't help support the family. His wife is working, running some hair salon for somebody. Who knows who, but the wife is working. And he's getting help from somebody else. He didn't say, probably his mom. But so he was just complaining how he has no money, like during those videos, where he was playing a victim. And I don't know if he got a bunch of donations. I don't know what happened. Maybe he used his YouTube money. Hey, what's the date? Okay, are these trips going right at the 21st? Because, yeah. That's probably maybe he's using his YouTube money for fun stuff for him and his friends. And by the way, on the dad talk thing, I'll just show you real quick. I already took the phone down, but yeah, so he's changing it, the dad, to, I don't know if he just changed it, but yeah, on Eric's description. And now Eric's opening it up. Here we tackle challenges for men in today's society, blah, blah. In addition, we cover a wide range of topics, including sports, fighting, comedy, video games, and more. Join us as we navigate through the complexities of modern masculinity, explore diverse areas of interest. So he's kind of branching out in his dad talk stuff to fighting, MMA stuff, whatever. But you know what? I was thinking today, he has to, you guys. I think his dad talk showbiz is over because who now with his reputation, you know, who and with I think with the long arm of the law watching over him, he can't right now. He can't open up fundraisers. For one thing, nobody's going to donate because they've heard about what happened, in my opinion. But also, the police are watching. So it's not, he's got to be real careful right now. He can't just open up GoFundMe, nilly-willy GoFundMe's like before. You know what I mean? I'm surprised he didn't freeze the accounts. Yeah, you know what? Because I think we would have heard. I agree, Grace. I thought when there was like fraud investigation with a lot of money involved, I assumed, I guess, I thought it was safe to assume that, and you can look this up, they usually do freeze the assets of the suspects, right? So they don't go spend it or, hide it. You know how they do. And so, I'm surprised they didn't freeze it. But Eric would have said, "Oh, they froze the money." Believe me, Whittaker's money's there. They froze it. And remember, besides Whittaker's, he owes Betty and Larry, and he also owes Patrick. He owes Patrick way more than Patrick owes him. So it's not just Larry and Betty that he owes money to. He owes Patrick money too. And you notice he's never said that. He said Whittaker's money is safe in an account somewhere. He never said Patrick's money is safe in an account somewhere, did he? Because remember, he owes Patrick. Patrick owes him some from the cut of the Facebook, but there's way more coming on Eric's side. So, yeah, that's another one. I mean, you can't forget he also owes Patrick a lot of money. Well, except Eric has spent all. I believe it's spent. I think it's long spent. Yeah, money's gone. Yeah, I believe so too. And he probably got a lot of views, you guys, on those two times. He said first he did some videos, some live streams, I don't know, months ago. Then he did another set of them where he really spilled the beans. As far as pointing the fingers at adult protection, saying that he's working with them and all that. So those videos, if you looked, I think they got 10,000 or more views. You guys, I never had that much on a video or live stream. So I can only imagine it's probably, gosh, he's probably made several thousand on all them live streams. I may be wrong, but I don't know. It just seems like a lot. And so, yeah, that's probably was his Las Vegas boys trip money. Hell, maybe he even helped Mark pay for his tickets. We don't know. Yeah. Yeah. If they froze Eric's, he'd probably never. You don't think he would say that? I think Eric would brag about having his account, because then it looks like he would probably say, I would pay him, but they froze the money. I think he would. That'd be an instant excuse he would use. Because otherwise, show us the money, Eric. Show us the money. Show us that special savings account you have for the Whittakers. All that money you got stacked up like McScrooge. Doesn't look much better. Yeah, because when you have blockages in your hearts before they put the stent in, you can barely breathe, you know what I mean? And you're not getting any oxygen flow, so it'll take, it's exhausting. I've seen a lot of heart patients. I hope Justin feels better, me too. They got all that in a bag of chips. Yeah, the Whittakers got nothing in a bag of chips. They got a big nothing in a bag of chips. Well, they got several, to be fair. but I donated to a house and they sure as hell didn't get that. So that's fraud, and that wasn't Patrick's fraud. That was all yeah, so you see how much you see how bigger it is on Eric's end. And if it's true, somebody said that all that Whittaker income went into the Dad Talk account. Now, I don't know, I haven't seen proof of that, but if that's it, wow, he was going to take that money from the get-go. Eric is acting like he's trying to protect the Whittakers because they're on welfare checks. It's an excuse not to pay them. Mark gave them the money and didn't stop the check. Exactly. Susan and I have said that too. Mark put in, I've seen about 33 different entries where Mark was able to put, wired transferred funds straight into Betty's house or into her bank in Beckley at Chase Bank. And there was like 30 something entries. $100,000 went in their bank just fine. And guess what? Betty and Larry kept getting their welfare checks that we know of. I'm sure they did, or they probably would have said something. Because why? Because all they had to do is pay the taxes on them. Because once you get past age, I don't know what it is, but Betty's the head of the household. She's over that age. And once you get over a certain age, you can get all the money you want. Federally, you can get all the money you want. I don't know if it's 74 years old, 72. I don't know, but Betty's over that age. So all they have to do is pay the taxes. And that's why Mark made sure to pay the taxes. Because guess what? They didn't skip a beat. Whittakers still got their checks, still got doctor visits for free. You know what I mean? Yeah, it does look healthier. Yeah, and none of that. Listen, Mark funneled from that GoFundMe, went straight into Betty's account, $100,000, and it didn't stop their checks because the taxes were paid. Exactly what he said. I paid the taxes out of their own money. I took that $38,000 out, and $38,000 went to the IRS. He said I took the last. He gave him all the money down to $38,000 because he said, and I took that money and paid the taxes. So neither one of us have a problem with the IRS. Yep. So neither one of them had a problem. If Eric doesn't get charged, there's no justice for the Whittakers. That's right. And it will make Raleigh County and odd West Virginia, all of West Virginia, I think, look bad to the whole world because people all over the world watch Whittakers. There's like hardly nobody who hasn't heard of Whittakers. I mean, and people in different countries. The person in Australia donated a bunch of money. It's like 2,000 US. They're one of the first ones that complained and turned them in. Yep, prayers up for Justin. Thank you, Tina. Prayers for Justin at Town Girl. Thank you. The Whittakers have clearly committed welfare Social Security fraud by accepting all the money from Mark. No one charged them, so why is Eric worried about it? It's just an excuse not to pay him. Yeah, and I don't know if they commit, because we don't know if they get welfare. And if they get Social Security, like I said, at a certain age, I know this. At a certain age, you can have all the income you want and it won't affect your check as long as you pay the taxes, which they did. And that's why, because I don't know if they get welfare. And somebody said they get coal mining money from their parents' coal mining check or something. I don't know. And who in the heck was Mystery Man? We'll never know. Right. And you're talking about who they called Robert Mass' friend from North Carolina. Yeah, who was that Mystery Man? Yeah, shouldn't we know? Because it's the donators that paid for all this. Shouldn't the donators know who all these people are and what their money's paying for? Like, why did the donators have to pay for Mark? Oh, that's right. He first said that it's all paying out of their own pocket, which right away was a red flag for me. Oh, okay. So you have all this 100,000 people wanting to donate, a crap load of money faster than you can even imagine. Yet all your friends are offering to pay for their own tickets and everything. That made no sense. Knowing the enormous amounts of money coming in. Why, and even more guilty to say they are going to pay for those because, okay, what's in it for them? It would look less guilty if he said, okay, guys, they have to come for this reason and they need to be reimbursed out of this money. You say, okay, that's a good reason. And yeah, that's, reasonable. But no, they're coming, all these strangers, and half of them you never even saw. They never even talked on camera. But on their own dime, wait, that sounds more guilty than if they would want to be reimbursed. You know what I'm saying? Yep, good for Sarah to expose him as a deadbeat dad. Yeah, and that's why I don't think he can even have a dad channel anymore. He's gonna turn it into MMA fighter and chasing celebrities or people that used to be celebrities. Nothing I hate more than a woman that doesn't take care of her children. Than a sorry ass man that won't work, right? Eric broke. Yep. Sorry. All right, Grace just put up Sarah's channel. It's 72. Yeah, it's like age 72. Betty's past it. I remember in that Christmas video, or the trailer burned down, one of them, she was about to turn 74. So, and that's across the board. That's federal for Medicare. I mean, Social Security. The ages are different for state to state, but I think it's across the board, 70 something. There will never be justice for them. That's right. Until they're all back together and they get the house that's owed to them and all the money that's owed to them, then that'll be justice. All that money went through Eric and not even a remodel for nothing. He even stopped him. People would say, hey, we'll send furniture. I'll send, appliance. No, we don't want nothing in the house. No, the house is too gross. We can't put nothing in it. We want it all new stuff. So he he said Whittakers get 100% of donations. Well, what donations? You never got a P.O. box. You told everybody not to send anything. And all the money, donations went into his AdSense account for YouTube. So, okay, if somebody sent some coloring books and a couple things to Patrick's house, other than that, they didn't get squat. Just like they said, they told the reporters, we got a couple trips to the grocery store. And that was that. And their water bill paid. Yeah, Eric has already spent every penny of the money allegedly. Yeah, entertainment purpose. So I agree. I think that money is long gone. As a matter of fact, I believe, because remember at Thanksgiving time, and Thanksgiving is the third Thursday of November. So towards the end of November last year, Eric told everybody when he was with his family that, hey, happy Thanksgiving. I'm with my in-laws. We're frying a turkey and blah, blah. And they said, because he knows everybody's saying pay the Whittakers. And no, that time had only been 3 months, right? September, October, November. And he said, oh, my attorney has gotten a hold of Betty and Larry, and they're getting money right now. They're gonna get he's sending their money, and I thought, oh geez, they're gonna get screwed over. And what happened? Nothing. Because I don't believe he had an attorney. Because by the time it came in December the next month, Eric was up there, and Mark, I guess, went with on at least one trip. And they went in there. They had to go to court, And that's when Mark said they were in the courtroom. They had to drive down there on their own dime. Now, this time it might be true. Eric had to get his own way down to the court. And it must have been something about Patrick, because he said when they were sitting there, all of a sudden they said, Patrick Rourke, and they're calling him Patrick Rourke. They're calling him, and there's not there. And Mark says, how can a guy not show up for court? Okay, and then they also mentioned that not only they had to spend their own money to get down there for Eric to West Virginia, but they also had no lawyer. Remember? He said he had no representation. So by November he says he's got a lawyer. December he said he don't have a lawyer. So from December on, he has had no lawyer, according to him. And Mark, and if you believe him, then hey, if he had money sitting in an account, I think he would have spent it on a lawyer. Kathy Betty has never had a job. She never paid in Social Security. She does SSI, which is welfare income based. On Nazarene says on Social Security you can because you work for that Social Security, but on SSI limit you can have the bank 2,000 or less. It's like welfare. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know, but somehow it was no problem for them to get 100,000 from Mark, and they're still getting benefits. Oh, hey, Kathy, good to see you tonight, Calendar Kathy. Yes, that is my name. I've officially changed it down at the courthouse. So yeah, I don't know. They get a monthly check. I don't know. It doesn't sound very good that they were driving without insurance, and then Larry got his license taken away. Because remember when they got that van from Gary McGowan, I think it was? That van came with, I think, a full tank of gas. It came 6 months insurance. Remember? When was that, you guys? I think it was around Thanksgiving or something. November, December, January, February, March, April. Yeah. So the insurance, 6 months of insurance that the guy paid up when he gave him the van, that expired, and which I don't know how much that cost. You remember that? Hey, Kathy, good to see you. Hey, sweetheart, good to see you tonight. Welcome. The Whittakers clearly don't manage their money properly. Yeah, I don't know. Actually, I just saw a video. Where Mark Laeda, and I remember this. Mark from Soft White Underbelly was in their kitchen, and for some reason they opened up their refrigerator, their side by side, and their freezer, and Mark was looking in their freezer to see if they had food, and it was packed. The refrigerator was so packed you couldn't get another thing in it side by side, and they also had a freezer, so they definitely had enough food. I mean, and their bills were paid. But now, I don't know. I'm assuming, I guess, that Larry gets some type of income, Social Security or something, because he did work. And I don't know about BJ, if she gets a monthly check for anything. She doesn't have any minor children, so I don't know if you can. I don't even know if you can get welfare without children, but I don't know if she gets anything. So I can see why they're probably hurting for money. They, because they used to have 3 more checks that came in. Eric, nothing like lying about money on Thanksgiving as you're cooking the turkey, right? I mean, he shouldn't have said nothing. Why say? He could not. I'll tell you why. Because he can't put up a video and show off that he's having a Thanksgiving dinner with his family and that they're deep frying a turkey and all that. He can't do that without getting a bunch of backlash about the Whittakers being split up for their Thanksgiving, their first Thanksgiving apart. And so, I mean, basically he lied, obviously, because I talked to Larry on Friday, December 8th, and I flat out asked him, "Have you gotten any money yet?" Because it's what everybody's saying because of Eric. And he got really mad. He said, "No, we didn't get no money." So no, he didn't get no money. They haven't gotten a dime. Yep. You're right. They could have gotten a house. He had something up his sleeve from the get-go, and that's why he got so hot. He was angry as all get out. I'm surprised he doesn't have heart trouble. He's got to have high blood pressure. Well, I think that's why he was so angry, because his plan wasn't working as probably usually. They used some money to fix up the house and bought a truck. I think Betty bought the building for Kenny. No, actually, I'll tell you for sure, Kenny bought his own building, because I just saw in court records a few months ago that Kenny is suing the place because they screwed him on those payments. Yeah, so Kenny did. Kenny said I think he said he paid like 300 something a month for so many months. He was very excited to tell Mark, because Mark said, "Oh, okay, so you got the siding, you got the new roof, get the laundry room fixed up, you got new appliances, a new truck, and what else?" Oh, he said, "Is this Kenny? Did you use the money for your shed?" He said, "Nope, I bought this on payments. This many payments for this many months for this much money," and then he moved it down the road. But I just saw in the court records that he's suing the place that's holding the shed, because in the complaint it said something like that Kenny is illiterate and he couldn't really read or something like that. And then they purposely knew that. And anyway, Kenny thought it was paid off, but there's a whole bunch more payments that he didn't know about. So anyway, Kenny is taking them to court over that shed. So 100% he paid for it, just like he said, and all that. So, yep. But they did. They used a lot of that money. A lot of that money, that 100,000 or whatever, went to their house. I made a video about it, and I wrote down every single thing that they bought, and it was a lot. They must just be very bad at money management. No reason why they shouldn't have paid insurance. Yeah, I don't know what they're bringing in right now. It could be just Larry bringing in money. And if they go from all them checks down to just Larry bringing in money, yeah, I could see why they probably can't afford it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know I don't know how much money they have to manage right now. It was full. They spend on food at least. Yeah, yeah, it was packed. Um, and Ray was going in there, and so was Timmy. They were getting lunch meat to make sandwiches. Yeah. Now, Eric looks like he has high blood pressure and cholesterol, probably some liver issues. Yeah, he doesn't look well. And if you just compare his picture to even a year ago, it looks absolutely awful. Could be stress. I don't know. He looks kind of stressed out, I imagine. I absolutely agree with you. Not everyone manages their money properly. That's right. Yep, you gotta learn. The younger, the better. Learn how to manage your money. You just run out of money once or twice, you should learn. Okay, I'm not doing that again. I mean, I'm very careful with money, and yeah, I cringe when I see people piss the money away, because yeah, I don't have a lot to deal with, so I have to be very careful, and that's how I've gotten by, is being very wise. Yeah. We get a monthly check for survivors benefit. Also work federal government keeps 50 cents on every dollar. Wow, I make over what they deem as okay. They hold us to a level that's effed up, no insurance. Wow. That sounds like working overtime. I remember working overtime. There's a certain point where they're actually taking more than I made. Yeah, it just makes you want to sit down and calculate it. They're taking half of your money. That's horrible. These checks get less and less according to each member of the household. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Because they have like the head of the household and then all the dependents, right? And like each dependent, it gets lower and lower and lower. So if you have like 6 kids, this kid number 6 doesn't get as much as they dole out for the kid number 1. I remember that from somewhere. I mean, if you have a big family, those big families get a lot of money. Yeah, I'm glad Betty has a little angel in that holler that took her in and loved Elvin on her. Yeah, right. I can just imagine Betty in a nice little house, cozy, sitting in a recliner watching her shows. You know what I mean? Getting ready for her visit with the family. It's too bad it just happened like that. I still can't believe that happened. Yeah, it ain't right. If Eric spent all the money, then he should spend years in prison, right? Here's the thing, and I believe that, like I said, and when July 21st, when they got that first check, um, yeah, when they got the first check, I think they lost their mind, but um, yeah, they should just played the cards right. Um, According to the video with Mark, BJ admitted that she and Brandon took a large portion of the money from Betty. Betty gave it to him. Yeah, she asked for it, Betty gave it. So Betty was asking Mark. So Mark gives it to Betty, and Betty doles it out to everybody. As a matter of fact, BJ got mad in that video. And she said, why don't you guys tell him that you gave more to Brandon than you did to me? Remember that? She said, yeah, don't blame it all on me. You guys spent some of it, and Brandon got more than I did. You guys gave him money all the time. And so she was offended that she's taking all the blame. And to this day, ask anybody. 99 out of 100 people say, yeah, BJ got it all. No, she didn't. She spent a bunch of it. Brandon spent a bunch of it. They all spent it. Had the IRS not. Because when my son turns 16, the check I get disappears. At 16 years old? Really? Not even 18? I thought they get it till they're 18. 16, I thought as long as they were in school you get it, or no. I don't know. I don't know what the rules are with that. I read that to be a bad thing. Sorry if I missed it. No, that's all right. It's my understanding that extremely large portion of the population in West Virginia live off welfare and are low income and manage fine. The elephant in the room is maybe several elephants. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah. I just think the drop in income, I think, is probably shocking. I mean, I think they were living comfortably, to be honest. Before anybody came along, I think they were living comfortably. You know what I mean? Yeah. But now most of their income is gone. Hey, Jane. Well, yes, we were sending prayers out to you. Anyway, good to see you tonight, Jane. Hope you're feeling better. Kathy and Chad, thank you for your prayers and well wishes. It turns out my cold is sinus infection. I'll be okay with. Oh, you gotta get medication? Well, we're still praying for you, Jane. We're glad to see you in here tonight. We sure hope you're feeling better. And it's terrible to have a sinus infection. That can hurt too. Anyway, good to see you tonight, Jane. Thanks for coming in. Dear Jane, get you some saline nasal washes. I agree. It's just salt water. It flushes out your, yep. Glad to see you. Glad to see you okay, Jane. Everybody's happy to see Jane. Grace says, dear Jane, glad to hear it. We're in the same boat. Just picked up my antibiotic state. Oh, you too, Grace? You got a sinus infection too? Maybe it's all the smoke from the Canadian wildfires. I got a sore throat when I went out there today. And then I opened the windows, I started coughing. I just shut the windows. My dogs didn't even want to go outside. Yeah, so get well soon, everybody. Brandon threatened to burn the house down when Betty wouldn't give him money. Oh, I remember that. Oh, I remember that. You know when that came up? That came up when their trailer burnt down. Somebody said, hey, didn't Brandon? Yeah. The doctor sent a prescription to the pharmacy. They're delivering it to me tomorrow. One is a pill, others an well, there you go. Yep, probably saline. Yep. Well, that's good, Jane. Hope it works right away. Dear Jane, sending you well wishes for a full and speedy recovery from Kathy. 3 checks gone, but 3 less people to feed and care for, less washing clothes. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, they had the same amount of bills, but yeah, less food, but the same amount of electricity probably and whatever. But yeah, same insurance. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think anybody ever really pinned down exactly what their income was. Yeah. Dear Jane says thank you to everybody. Dear Miss January says, dear Jane, good to see you. My mom used to get awful sinus infections. My son has sinus issues last few days. Get well, everyone. Yeah. You know what else? Grace says poor Grace, or dear Jane says poor Grace. Sorry to hear. So have you guys heard about this bug that's going around? It could be from Taco Bell or other fast foods. They're still trying to pin it down. Maybe some produce involved. I don't know. But yeah, they're saying a lot of people that are eating Taco Bell are getting sicker than normal. But yeah, there's some funky stuff going around, you guys. And what is it, parasites or something? Which is funny because I'm ordering a new bottle of parasite for my kittens, because I have a bottle here. It's called parental Pamoate. This is what the veterinarians have, and you can buy this over the counter. It's for dogs, cats, horses, and humans. Even humans can have that, and horses, no matter what it is. Yeah. So, and this is expired in October, so I'm going to order a new bottle for the kitties, and just draw it up in a syringe, and obviously without the needle, and just squirt it inside of their mouth, and they drink it, and then I think about 10 days later you give them a second dose, and it eliminates parasites. But it's funny because I heard all these people having parasites. Yeah, maybe the lettuce. They think it's the lettuce. They don't know, but yeah. Susan, yes, and Brandon wanted money from Betty also. Yeah. Well, they and Betty said, "Why don't you guys all tell him right on Mark's video?" So why don't you guys tell everybody? Brandon got a lot more than I did. He was always getting money from you, Betty. Yeah, a drug habit takes a lot of money for it. It does. Some of them are really, really well. All of them, I think, are expensive. Perhaps the lettuce could be. Meow meow. Susan says so much. Just a guess. Oops. I lost my spot. Just a guess. Anything is possible. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, Susan. I think they said lettuce because it's being distributed to like fast foods and stuff, which I imagine. Yeah. So there's some spores or some fungus or some kind of parasite or something attached to it, some bug or something attached to it, and yeah, and so you can imagine how much lettuce Taco Bell uses. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, probably the lettuce. I think they're trying to narrow it down, but I don't know. Just eat at home, people. It's cheaper. Unwashed produce. Is that what they're saying? Yeah, I think they're narrowing it down to produce. So, yeah. Because yeah, when they spray this stuff, and that's why I like my own garden. I don't do anything. Yeah, I don't eat out either, Susan. If my friend wants to go out, I'll go out with her. Otherwise, I don't ever. Yeah, it's way cheaper to eat at home and better. You get way more, and it's better and safer. Because you don't even know who's touching your food in the back room. You know what I mean? I'm glad I grow my own produce. Can't trust anything you don't grow yourself anymore. I know, me too. And I don't use chemicals. I don't use fertilizer, nothing. The soil, the sun, and the water and love makes mine grow. Yeah, look at me. I caught up on comments but since first time since Justin left. Anyway, so that was fun having Justin on tonight. Because I got to figure out my microphone thing. I don't know. I'm not using the microphone right now. Could be the tomatoes, any kind of produce. I saw a guy that described what type of illness it was, and of course, it's not good. It's you'll get blowouts, right? I don't eat fast food anymore, not because it's unhealthy, because the service is lousy and the food is always cold. The food is unhealthy. The food is cold. The service is terrible. Everybody's angry that they have to work. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. And it's so much cheaper. It's so expensive. Man, I saw a guy that got some food. He was doing a food review at Burger King. He had like a tray of food and it was like $35. He had like a Whopper and I don't know, some other sandwiches, and he had a little bit of everything, a couple drinks. He had a drink, a strawberry drink or something, and he had a milkshake or whatever. And yeah, it was like $35. And the guy goes, it's a lot of food. It ain't bad for $35. I'm thinking, yeah, it is. It's terrible for $35. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I try not to either, unless my friend wants to go out to lunch. Then I make an exception for her. Lucy is such a picky eater. I have started cooking her whole chicken and giving her meat throughout the week. That's what my dogs eat every single day. They eat baked chicken. They have kibble on the plate. I fill up the plate with kibble. Then I put the chicken on it. I cook the chicken and debone it and chop it up in little pieces. Put it on there, and then I have either green beans or mixed vegetables. But usually I have they love sweet potatoes. So I dice up sweet potatoes and cook them, and I drain the water and I put butter on them, and then I sprinkle the little cubes of that over the meat, and then I put the chicken juice over the top of it to soften the kibble. My dogs love it. And if I don't put butter on those sweet potatoes, my one dog will look at me like, what in the hell is this? He won't eat them without the butter, but yeah, that would be great on Halloween. Burger King had a tomato storage here yesterday. Really? Maybe because they're getting recalled. Burger King's expensive too. Me and my friend we went twice to a Burger King because there really isn't one around here. So we went out of our way to go to one, and the service was horrible. They had one person in the front, one in the back cooking. So the girl would like take my order and make it all, and then like they deal with one order at a time. She takes the order, the guy in the back does my whole order. After 10 or 15 minutes, he hands me my tray. Then she starts on the next person, my friend. So what? I'm like done eating by the time she even gets hers. It's just terrible. And we went again just to see if it was really that bad. And yeah, it was just as bad. Actually, that time it was faster. But her original chicken sandwich was cold, she said. She threw it in the trash. I'm like, man, I'd bring that home to my dog. Tina, it's my favorite holiday. Halloween? Correction, I only eat white meat chicken, so Lucy split the whole baked chicken. Oh, by the way, my dogs only like dark chicken meat. If I ever try to cut up a chicken breast and put it on their food, they don't like it. It has to be dark meat or they don't like it. They will turn their nose up at white meat. I'd love to decorate the house and the yard and the trees. Yeah, that is fun. Yep. Your quilting fabric buyers come straight from right. I think so. I think they did. I think they did. I think you might be onto something there. Yeah. Yeah, Brandon shows up right when Betty's check hits the bank. Yeah. You guys, you know what? Brandon used to live in that house for many, many years. And in the old Mark Soft White Underbelly videos, you can see when he's talking to Betty, Betty's on the couch. And there's like 3 feet behind the couch before the wall. And that's where Brandon used to sleep. That was his little bedroom behind the couch. There was like a little space between the couch and the wall. And that's where Brandon used to sleep. But he lived there, I think, since he was a kid or something. Yeah. So he would know all too well when Betty's check hit the bank. Tina the Dollar Tree glow in the dark sticker can make your feet prints like ghosts from. Yeah, Dollar Tree's got a lot of good holiday stuff. And they're still only $1.25. Well, not for everything, but most things. You suffer from constipation, go, yeah, there you go. Hell yeah, I'll unplug you in no time. You don't even have to go to the doctor. Just go there. Give yourself, I don't know, 30 minutes. Just go straight home, though. You want to be in your own bathroom when that happens. Well, you think about it, these gardens are not acres, but miles, and these farm workers have nowhere to go about. That's true, Tina. Didn't think of that, but unfortunately, that's probably true. Wash your produce. Yeah, vinegar bath for the produce. Me too, Tina. So when I get produce, it don't matter what it is. What you're gonna have to want to go ahead and do is you get a big bowl of water. I mean, a big bowl, and you put in some water and some vinegar, and then you put all your vegetables in there. Like put your grapes in there, or if you have lettuce, put your lettuce in there. Strawberries, any fruits or vegetables, you put it in there, and then you pour in a little bit of baking soda, and all of a sudden it bubbles up and it just oozes all over the place, and it bubbles. It effervescent bubbles will just take all kinds of dirt and bugs and everything that you never knew was in that fruit, float to the top. When my dad and his wife were staying here, I showed them when I clean my produce, all the garbage that comes out of it. And then after that, then you rinse it and soak it in water and rinse it. And you wouldn't believe it. All of a sudden, the grapes that were like rubbery now are snap. They're crunchy. I mean, it's amazing. And don't worry, it won't taste like vinegar. Now, for me, I could eat the at the Waffle House 7 times a week. Yeah, I love waffles too. I haven't had them in a long time. I had a little Belgian waffle maker. More in the winter, I used to make them, but yeah, they're good. We don't have Waffle House up here. I did eat at Waffle House in Florida. Yeah. Yeah, it was good though. It was good. It reminded me of like a Perkins or Denny's or something. Yeah, prices are ridiculous and not paying that much for cold food, right? I can make a Big Mac at home. Yeah, I learned how to do that too. You guys. You just make just like 12 beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on sesame seed bun. But I hold the onions. I don't like onions. Yeah. Yeah, you just shred the lettuce and you get that Big Mac sauce, which is a sandwich sauce. You can get it at Walmart. Same thing. It's like Thousand Island. Brandon's probably more like Betty's child because she raised him. Yeah, BJ left him there. Yep. Yeah, in that interview with Brandon and Lewis, BJ's 2 of her sons, they'll tell you that they basically, Betty raised them, that they grew up there. Susan Truth, say that again, Kathy. Yeah, vinegar and baking soda. No, so yeah, so you get a big clear bowl. I could do a video on it, real quick video at some point. And then so say you bring home grapes or you bring home strawberries, right? You pluck the green. So if it's strawberries, you pluck that little green thing off of it. Put them in a bowl with water and put like a couple cups of vinegar in there. I like it strong, like half and half or whatever. But anyway, then you put all the fruit in there, get all the fruit in there so that's under the water. Then you dump in some baking soda and it bubbles like and have the bowl in the sink because it's gonna bubble so much it's gonna overflow all over the place. And you'll see all the dirt and the bug. I will make a point to do it. I'll buy some strawberries and I'll show you all the garbage that comes out of it. My dad and his wife could not believe what comes out of that fruit. And it's so good when it's clean. Susan, yes, that's a good combination for cleaning produce. Yep. Or you can take a detour and go to Kathy. She'll let you go behind her barn. That's right. Hope you keep toilet paper in the glove box. That's right. And you know, I had the bathroom ready. I'd aired everything out. And when I opened the door and went out, I was gonna go out and tell her she can come in the house. I saw her running from her truck with toilet paper, and I said, "Hey, hey, hey, you!" And then she just kept running. Then I just let her do her thing, and then when she finally came back to the barn, I said, did you hear me yelling? I said, you can go in the house now. And she said it was too late by then. Zuppa Toscana, made at home. I love soup. Oh, that sounds good. I don't know what kind of soup that is, but soup sounds good. Works inside your sink. Yes, as a matter of fact, I just used that. So I thought my tub drain might be getting a little slow. And so I poured vinegar down there, and then I dropped some baking soda, and then I poured more vinegar, and it cleared it out. Me too. Yeah, soup from Olive Garden. Yeah, I love soup. You do too, yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I will do a little video next time I go into town and get fruit. And I'm not really as worried as my stuff in the yard because I don't have pesticides on it. And that's another thing. They'll take off the pesticides and stuff, you know what I mean? Off the grapes and, God knows what's on it. Bugs, dirt, pesticides, people's germs. Yeah. So yeah, that sounds good. All right, well, I'm coming up on 3 hours. I should probably sign off. So so somebody doesn't have to take a week to to watch the replay. Anyway, so yeah, I'll probably sign off, do a few things, get something to eat. I just started using my air fryer. So I bought a new air fryer off of Amazon maybe 2 years ago. And I used it once and then I don't really like the Teflon getting heated up. I don't know, whatever. So I put it away, but my toaster oven broke. And that's one of the projects I was doing. I had to remove my toaster oven, and anyway, I was rearranging stuff. But in the meantime, I didn't want to run my oven when it's 100 degrees out. So yeah, I used that air fryer. Instead, I put parchment paper down in in the bin. I put parchment paper and cooked some chicken in there. And yes, Susan, you are a trooper. Go enjoy this. I didn't fall asleep tonight. Yes, yeah, you're a trooper tonight. And anybody else who stayed this long, thanks for staying this long. And Susan, I thank you so much for buying 5 memberships for our friends here in the chat. I appreciate that. I'm sure they do too. And what else? And it was fun to talk to Justin tonight. It sounds like it's raining, but I think that's a fan. Now we're getting to the drought stage right now. My grass hasn't started dying, just the new stuff. But it's potato soup with kale. Remember on on Cheers when Woody Nelson, or Woody Harrelson, whatever his name is, he was doing that, trying to do a commercial for a kale drink. It always made me afraid to try kale. But anyway, I'm sure it's good. I could eat at Waffle House every day too, Susan. Yeah, I did one time and it was good. It was just like a Denny's. Susan says you're welcome. Yeah, much appreciated, Susan. That's very nice of you. You love my air fryer? Yeah, you could cook anything. What else? Oh, I cooked a twice baked potato in the thing. I cooked some chicken strips today. Can't remember. Trying a little bit of everything. Yeah, I like it. I like it too. So anyway, I'm using the air fryer again. Better than frying it in grease. I use beef tallow, but still better. Say when does vacation start? Say it. Sometimes I go alone. My neighbors got sick of Waffle House. Oh, really? Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Better than fast food, then for sure. You're leaving for Baltimore on the 30th of this month? That's not long. Yeah, about no more than 2 weeks. Baltimore, really? Well, I hope you have a safe and wonderful trip. Really good homemade French fries and sweet potato fries. Yeah, I was thinking that about the sweet potato fries because that's what my dog eats, sweet potatoes. And I just learned how to eat sweet potatoes from sneaking some of theirs. And I thought, man, sweet potatoes are good. Yep. Then New York City, Maryland. Really? You're going to New York City? New York City? And that's kind of exciting, huh? Maryland. I knew you said New York City. Huh. Oh, that's exciting. I hope you have a safe trip. I guess there's a lot to see there, isn't there? Maryland is your home state. Oh, Nazarene, really? Yep, I always hear how beautiful it is there. New York City. Well, that's where I hear the good salsa is at. Just kidding. Anyway. All right, guys, so I'll wrap it up. So thank you everybody for being here. I thank my guest, Justin. That was fun. And everybody that came in. And if you're watching on the replay, thanks for watching on the replay. I'm excited. I'm going to try to go to DC to a couple Smithsonian. Really? You know, they had the traveling Smithsonian Institute, and they came to Minnesota, and I brought my son and one of the neighbor kids. Kathy, you're taking... Yes, I did. I was sneaking some of their sweet potatoes when they weren't looking, but they might have been looking. Yeah, sweet potatoes with butter on? Hell yeah, I never had it in my life. So yeah, I am sneaking a little bit of the dog. No kibble. I might sneak the chicken and sweet potato. Don't worry. I'm not sneaking the kibble. That's a fact. All right, guys. Thanks for coming in. I should be back tomorrow night. I'm going to have to figure out how to use my microphone and make it not sound like I'm the baby in the well. All right. Good to see you, everybody, tonight. Thanks for coming, and peace.